And welcome back to another devotion. I am Pastor Roy Carlin here at Woodlawn Christian Church in Lake City, Iowa, and this devotion is for Thursday, August 21st of 2025. We are in the book of Acts, and today we've made it to chapter 21. We're going to look at just the first 6 verses today. Paul is continuing on his way towards Jerusalem. He is going port by port today as he goes along his way. We're going to get him to Syria today, and he's going to spend about a week there with the disciples. So, without further ado, let's jump into chapter 21, book of Acts, verses 1 to 6. And when we had parted from them and set sail, we came by a straight course to Cos, and the next day to Rhodes, and from there to Patara. And having found a ship crossing to Phoenicia, we went aboard and set sail. When we had come in sight of Cyprus, leaving it on the left, we sailed to Syria and landed at Tyre. For there the ship was to unload its cargo. And having sought out the disciples, we stayed there for 7 days. Through the Spirit they told Paul not to go on to Jerusalem. And when our days there were ended, we departed and went on our journey. And they all, with wives and children, brought us on our way, till we were outside the city. And kneeling down on the beach, we prayed and bid one another farewell. Then we went on board the ship, and they returned home. Okay, they are bouncing along there. They finally stopped, as I said, in Syria at Tyre. Christianity's been in Syria a long time, folks. That's one of the reasons why it's very distressing to see what's going on today with the Christians being martyred there. There's people talking about genocide and whatnot. A lot of what they talk about that is craziness. But there we have genuine genocide between the Druze and the Christians in Syria and other places right now this time in history. But at any rate, let's get back to Paul. Again, the church has been in Syria a long, long time. Paul apparently either started a church there or a church got started. There's a group of Christians there in Syria. And when they stopped there to unload the ship, they spent a week with them. And the folks there are moved through the Spirit. The Spirit speaks to them, and they're warning Paul, hey, trouble awaits you in Jerusalem. Maybe you don't want to go there. But Paul knows he has been being sent by the Lord. He is on a mission. God has told him he needs to go to Jerusalem. And he's not going to be dissuaded, not even by well-intended folks. Sometimes the best intentions try to dissuade you from following what your calling is. That doesn't make sense, guys. Why would you go there? Why would you do that? And the Lord's telling me, and sometimes it's maybe not the Lord, but the Lord is maybe not telling them. They're just telling them that Paul's going to have trouble there. That doesn't mean he shouldn't go, just because he's been told there's going to be trouble there. He's being warned there's going to be trouble there, and he knows what to expect. I think Paul knew already. I think the Lord had already let him know there was going to be trouble there in Jerusalem. Now, the question is, does Paul survive his visit to Jerusalem? And we're going to be just in a few days. He's going to get arrested in the temple. It won't be long, another week or so, and we're going to have Paul arrested, probably 2 weeks probably. And after that, he gets sent to Rome. And that'll be a few more days before we get him to being sent to Rome. What happens to him after that? There is a minority belief that he was released from his home, his house imprisonment, being incarcerated at home, and that he went on to Spain. I'm trying to say. There's not a whole lot to attest to that. It seems more likely that Paul is martyred in about 63 AD in Rome. And he's martyred about the same time, within months or within a year anyway, of James being martyred in Jerusalem by the high priest, having him thrown from the temple. So that's pretty heady stuff, if you will. But at any rate, Paul, even the best intentions of people trying to dissuade you from your journey, sometimes you just got to you realize it's going to be a hard go. It's not going to be fun, but you're called to do it anyway. And so we need to have the strength of spirit the conviction of our faith that we're going to do it. And again, back to those Christians in Syria, those people are not denying Christ. They have the convictions of their beliefs at this point in time, in 2025, that they're not denying their faith when the Islamists are, threatening to execute them unless they convert. They're not converting; they're being killed. We should be humbled by that. We should be horribly humbled by that. Do we have that strength of conviction? Ask yourself that. That's what I got for you today. We're going to leave it there. Reasonably short. Have a blessed day. Be a blessing to someone today. If you enjoy these devotions, this one's maybe not enjoyable, a little downer again. If you gain something from it, please like and subscribe. Please come back again. But always remember, be a blessing to someone today. And even more so, remember that God loves you. Take care. We'll see you later.